And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final qualifying match of the bracket of the broadcast. Here we go. There's one spot left, but there are 2 players remaining. Only one will make it through into the main event. Which one exactly? We're here to find out. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing himself, currently teamless, representing Blem. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the... we have the trauma bonding is real. We have the Red Zerg player representing the Platinum Heroes from the land of the UK. It is Eva. Let them hug it out. As if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat. Ooh. As one of these 2 will make it through. But now we are going to be settling in. So far, going to be Hatch Gas Pool, a standard opener out of Eba. Likewise, Mixu doing the same as we load into Frostline. Oh no. I mean, Mixu and Eba, they are good friends. They are good friends at a game. They're used to smoging together. True, true. As for now, though, we are going to be saturating our bases. From here, we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice to see if either player does skip a Bailey Nest, to see if they do delay their third bases, if they do invest into earlier lings, if they cut worker production. We'll keep an eye on any kind of big deviation from one player to the other as we settle in. Of course, there was a chance that Eba would off-race or main race as Protoss, depending on your perspective, but he has opted to go for the ZvZ. He's committed. Is committed here. As we do have our link speed in production from both sides. Should soon be seeing it here from Eba as well. Hello. Eba, it looks like he's going to be walling up and he's going to be skipping. Never mind, third base is on the horizon, but no link speed out of Eba. You have my attention. I would imagine he's going for a fast layer or just walling up. There we go. Fast layer is on the way. Insanely fast layer here out of Eba. Should be walling up. Is not taking the third. The drone was a fake out. Okay, I was very confused about the worker. That I was not really sure of. But it was a fake out in the end. Eba's going to be walling up, hunting down the Overlord, and rushing into lair tech. Into mutas, potentially. Show us the spire, Pat. So cheeky moves out of Eba. Meanwhile, Mixu just going Hatch Gas Pool into Bailey Nest, into a third base as well. Standard setup here out of Eba. Upon realizing what's going on, he cancels the Bailey Nest. Very well done, as Bailings are not necessary here when you're up against 2-base play. Into an Evo chamber, into droning. Do see Mixu testing the waters here. Does a poke at the front door. Does get eyes on the setup. Gases are being taken. And this should be mutas. It should be. As there is no Roach Warren. There is no Roach Warren. There it is. Spire is on the way. Now, unfortunately, because there is no Roach Warren that's a part of this wall, it is a little bit suspect as to what's happening, and Mixu can try to deduce what's going on. It's still going to be on Mixu to set up an Overlord Scout and to get confirmation as to what's happening. For now, droning up, investing into +1 range into Roaches as well. I mean, we pointed it out as well. Like, it's kind of suspect that there's no Roach Warren here. Oh, no. I like to believe that he was like, oh, no, now I can't make anything. Oh, I'm stuck, step bro. When really, here come the mutas. Aye. Will it work? Will it work, Pat? We're about to find out. As the Spire's about to finish and mutas are going to be on the way. Mutas are going to be on the way here. Mixu so far, limited anti-air. How many queens? Only 2? Only 2. There's no third queen. There's no third queen. There's no creep connecting the bases. Roach production has begun for Mixu, but I am concerned that these mutas, they can wreak havoc. As there's cancellation on the Roach Warren. Third base is on the way. And Mixu, I mean, he's not really set up for a counter all-in. He doesn't have roach speed yet. Building up roaches. There we go. Third queen is on the way. Repositioning that second queen as well. Does rotate over. Mutas, they have arrived. And I believe they should just be hunting down overlords initially. Yeah. So Mixu, he has time. He has time to respond as mutas are revealed. Spores are being thrown down. But Mixu did invest quite heavily into these roaches, and we'll see if we can make use of them. He's moving out. We have Burrow on the way for Tunneling Claw roaches. Overlords are being hunted down. He gets 3 so far. He's getting a 4th Overlord. That's a lot of Overlords falling. That will supply block Mixu. Up. He does get the final Overlord. Getting a 5th Overlord as well. Jesus. 5 Overlords falling. But Mixu does skirt around the edge. Making his way towards the 3rd. Meanwhile, Queen gets caught out. eBay gets a Queen. Gets 1. Going for the other. No transfuse. No Spore in position either. Every Queen is going to be falling. Damage is being done. Spore is going to go down. At the same time, though, Mixu does hit the 3rd. Oh, actually, he's just going straight for the natural. Going for the kill. Yeah, this is a risky maneuver here out of Mixu, but he busts in. Busts into the natural. Queens are falling. And eBay's racing back home. Does race back. Drones are falling as well. Link's trying to reinforce. And that's 8 drone kills already. And Mixu does take a worker lead. Up. Is going to be cleaned up. Borrowing his roaches. Saving whatever he can. Roach is still hitting the 3rd base as well. Still rallying towards the natural. But Eva holds. Eva defends. Mixu, though, he held on to that 3rd base and he is resaturated. Mixu, he has redroned. Spores are on the way. Infestors as well. Infestation but stun. Getting to those fungal growths. And Mixu, he's not looking too bad. Here's in a pretty nice position. Unfortunately, he's just now throwing down his Hydroden, so he doesn't really have much pushing power when it comes to catching those mutas and moving out across the map. But economically, looking very secure. As he's throwing down extra spores, he can't afford it. Roaches, once again, they hit the mineral line. 5 more drones going down. Eba, he has how many mutas? 16. 16 mutas for Eba. Bust into the main. Queen's out of position. Oh, gets a spore. Gets a spore, goes to the queens. Where the infestors, where the fungals. 2 more queens go down. And even though the drone count may be high here for Mixu, he has lost control of the main. And that's a hive, by the way. Spores are waddling in. Hive is down to half HP. Fungal's coming in as well. Oh, it is getting close. Even with a fungal, though, it may not matter. We need Hydras. First fungal does connect. Mutas, they just take down the hive anyway. Hive falls, massive pickoff. And Mixu, he is in trouble. Down to 2 bases. Building up Vipers, building up Mutas. None of the fungal connects. But there's no follow-up. There's just no follow-up to the fungals. Doesn't matter. These Hydras are building up. Main base goes down. Spawning pool as well. And Mixu just can't really afford much of an army here. He's got a handful of Hydras. You can defend against the Lings at least. You just say threaten the natural. Up! Fungal raise the army. Power bomb as well. Nicely done. That's just 1 muta going down. Soon to be 2. And 2 mutas do fall. You know what, Eba, he's just committed to just mass Ling Bane Muta. Bane's speed is on the way. He's got plus on melee. And it has been very back and forth. There have been good moments for both players. These mutas, they got a surprising amount of damage. And Eba does take a lead. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the spellcasters. You know, Eba, he might be ahead, but all it takes is one well-placed fungal with a powerbomb combo, and the muted cloud could just evaporate. Likewise, the Ling Bane may just... a fungal could land there as well. And the Ling Bane won't engage. Does come down to that control from Mixu. As eBay does find a couple of Hydras. Takes down the main. From here, I would be more comfortable if Eba, once he gets up to, I mean, he's on 3-base saturation, to take up into a Hive and to take up into Ultras. Speaking of, there we go, Infestation Bits on the way. I mean, you could do one of two things. Either take it to Ultras or take it to a Greater Spire. Ultras would be a little bit more natural here for Eba. As the mutas, they threaten to dive. Oh! As Bailey's, they're getting caught out. Two of them do try to get into the mineral line. They are denied. As he rotates over. Hits the fourth. Hey, does catch out these spores. Spores going down. Mixu out of position. Up. Do get a powerbomb. Powerbomb. Oh, the funnel! Oh my god! The music get caught out! And this is what Mixu wanted. This is what he was hoping for. The fungals, they land. Mutas, they get shut down. And just like that, that was how many? That was what? 30 mutas falling. Ay, ay, ay. 18 in that fight. Can he land another? Oh, almost. Can't see the Viper. As I believe the Viper is regathering energy. Viper stopped up. Infestors as well. Going to be reinforcing. And Mixu's pushing. Mixu, he is moving out. As we mentioned, it all comes down to those fungals. As Mixu, he can still just snowball out of control and just win the game here and now. There's a lot of Bailings, though. Jesus. I mean, this is where lurkers are quite necessary and quite required against a mass Ling Bane army. Like, these infestors, they got a lot of work to do. They have to lock down the mutas and the Ling Bane as well. And it's only 3 infestors. Eba going for a Ling run by. Roaches, they do hit the northern base. Makes sure he's ready back at home. Does defend. Oh, barely saves the infestor. Whew. He's still on 3, right? Yeah, still 3 infestors. I'm very uneasy with just 3 infestors here, but okay. 2 more Vipers on the way. Eba's trying to catch reinforcements. Coming in from here. The Viper! No! Does catch the Viper. Massive pickup. 1 Viper goes down. That was the only Viper with the main army. No more power bombs. Mixu pushing in. Going for the microbial shroud. He's crazy. Bailey's, they crash into the Hydras. And they're out of the microbial shroud, and the mutas, they can't take the fight. No more fungals. Despite that, the Hydras, they're holding their own. The mutas are going down one after the other. A handful of mutas remaining, and it looks like Mixu, he has done it just barely. He breaks through. GG. And Mixu, he takes game number 1. Whew. Oh my god. Mate, that microbial shot was crazy. GG, well played. Oh my god. With that, Mixu does take a lead in the series. GG, well played, and with that, does take a lead. Again, this is a best of 5, though. We have plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. That was a roller coaster ride of emotions. There was there were some good moments for Eba, good moments for Mixu as well. It was very back and forth. And with that, we're getting into our next game. Jumping into game 2. As we are still setting up our lobby. It worked out well for Eba anyway, but it's not a good idea to throw down the Roach one as a part of the wall. Yes, I'm pretty I'm pretty sure it was a mistake for Eba that he didn't throw down the Roach one. I don't think it was intentional that he threw down 3 Evo chambers. I don't think that was a part of the plan. I mean, Eba, he worked with it, right? He was very fluid with the build that he had gone for, but I don't think that was intentional. I think his response and his reaction in chat was genuine. Regardless, here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Blem, leading the series 1-0. It is Mixu. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series. We'll see if we can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Eba. Let's go. And us go. As now our players are going to be opening up. Hatch first. So far, so good. Just extractor trick into hatch first. And welcome one and all to Amygdala. Now, similarly to Frostline, Frostline is a much larger map in the map pool. Mutaplay can be more favored on some of these larger maps. I would say the same about Amygdala as well. We could see Mutaplay, and that's going to be available to both Mixu and Eba. What I will say though, after Eba did attempt to embrace Mutaplay or 2-base Muta in the last game, I don't expect him to do it 2 games in a row, but it is going to be on the table for Mixu. So we'll see. We'll see if either player does go for the fast layer, does embrace the Mutaplay. Big reason why Mutaplay would be more advantageous on a map like Amygdala is just because counterattacks and ground-based assaults can be quite awkward on this map. The reason for this is because there are really only 2 attack paths. There's the attack path here on the right-hand side, and towards the south and towards the north as well. The entirety of the center of the map is completely walled off, and we don't really expect these rocks to be knocked down anytime soon, at least not until the mid-game. So because of that, it can be easy to get eyes on move-outs with your overlords. As long as you have an overlord towards the north and south, you see everything, any kind of aggression, any kind of move-out, and you can prepare in kind. Of course, mutas, they can, of course, avoid all that terrain and get across the map, and we may even see Muta versus Muta. We'll see. At least a lot of the Korean ZvZ has been headed in that direction, at least on Amygdala. For now, just hatch gas pool into our gases. Link speed is on the way. This time, Eba is researching link speed. If you recall, last game, he skipped it to rush into a faster lair. Not this time, though, as both players expand. Both players take their spires. There's that Baliness on the way for Mixu. And we should be seeing one from Eba as well. There we go. So after a chaotic game 1, everything is looking standard here in game 2. Just Ling Bane from both sides, third bases from both sides. No one is skipping tech. And we'll see if either player does embrace Ling Bane aggression, or if we just drone up and get into roaches. That's a lot of links. Then we have the answer. At 16 links on the way for Mixu, so Mixu is going to be initially the aggressor. And we'll see if Eba can hold, as Eba is still droning. Oh boy. Now again, Eba, he will have Balings to defend. We'll have them available. Speaking of Balings, they're morphing in for Mixu. He's on the way. Guy's going to be overwhelming the initial links here of Eba. Balings are on the way. Mixu's trying to engage, pushing in towards the middle line. Queens are in position. And so far, ooh, both banelings do go down. And with that, Mixu, he has control of the map. He collapses on top of the queens. First queen gets around and he gets one. He's going to get both. Both queens are going to fall. Banelings are denied. And just like that, Mixu, he has broken the natural. There's one baneling on the way. There's a lot riding here on that one baneling. We'll zone away the lings. Oh, so far kept alive. And just barely. Baneling goes up. Eba, he will be able to hold on. Oh, but there's another baneling behind this. Oh, no! Oh, my God. There's one more baneling. A little bit premature. Eba, he's holding. Is holding on. Does zone away the army. And does get away with a higher drone count. Whew, okay, so Eba, he does hold on. Meanwhile, the lings, they're still active. They're still going for the drones. Oh, getting one. Nice control here to Mixu. Gets one drone. Does fight back. Droning up back at him as well. Throwing down his own Roach Warren. Getting into plus on the range. And as the dust settles, I mean, Eba did lose extra queens. It was still a rough defense. Lings, they do pipe past the main army. They get into the mineral line. 4 more drone kills. Ay, ay, ay. 4 more drones go down. Mixu slips into the main. Cheeky moves, morphing in those banelings. But Eba, he's ready for it. He is aware. He does find one. Not quite the... There we go. Does find both. Banelings are denied. Now we can calm things down. We can settle in. Now, as the dust settles, both players have comparable economies. We have 40 workers to 41. That is true. The drone counts are comparable. But what about the tech? I mean, plus on range is halfway done for Mixu. Roach production already underway for Mixu as well. Mixu is morphing in his lair. He's ahead tech-wise. So, Eba, he's not out of the woods yet. As here comes the move out. Mixu, he will be pushing. And it looks like this is going to be a fake out. He does move out with the roaches, that is true, and his goal here is to be scouted by the overlords of Eva, and behind this Mixu's droning. He's droning up, he's saturating his third base. Mixu is not committing with his army, he's just trying to force a response out of his opponent. As he pulls away. Does pull away. You can see Eba cut workers earlier on, was forced to make this army, and now Eba is forced to commit. And Mixu, has he poked the bear? Eba is up in army supply. He has a terrifying army with Ling Main Roach. Is pushing forward. Spine Crawler's on the way. Eba headed towards the mineral line. Mixu does pull away in time. And Mixu holds. Mixu does hold on. Throughout this assault, Eba was droning, by the way. He was saturating. He wasn't reinforcing. So similarly to Mixu earlier, does kind of feign an attack. Just trying to force an overreaction, force out spine crawlers. They were rebuilt or they were cancelled. Banelings denied in the main. And now we're getting into the mid game. But once again, Mixu is ahead in upgrades. +2 has begun for the Blue Zerg. +1 just now beginning here for Eba. So Eba is down an upgrade. Eba is also down 10 workers. Mixu getting a 4th. And Mixu shouldn't really move out and shouldn't commit into an attack without +2. So you should be hoping to hit a +2 timing with Roach Speed as well. And it's going to be on Eba to try to survive. Eba has potential, of course, with potential drop play, with Dropper Lords, Roach counterattacks, Baneling run-bys, Ling run-bys. It's still difficult to pull off on this map, but not impossible. Both players are building up. Again, Mixu got to 3-base saturation first. He's just massing up his roaches. He's just ensuring that it gets supply blocked. 4th bases are on the way. Drop Lord's also in production for Mixu. He does have Overlord speed already. We'll see if Eba can keep up. As +2 range is still not quite done, still on the way. This Mix is being active. There we go. We do have our Drop Lords going for Baneling drops. Okay. And Roach Baling drops. As they do move out. Mixu is the first to max out. But again, he's still waiting for his upgrade. This is giving Eba time to max out himself. Eba going for his own drop a lot of harass. Let's go. With Balings. Drop lords being active. Contamination on +2. Let's go. We go for the contamination. Mixu pushing in. Pushing into a concave. Yeah, rough fight here for Mixu. Meanwhile, Balings, they do crash in. Oh my god. Massive connections. Balings here at the third. Roaches towards the natural. Eba does take the better fights, but we'll lose an economy. We'll lose the mineral lines. At the same time, going for his own drop. Mixu doesn't respond. Drones are going to be going down. Yeah, 8 drone kills. Mixu does come out ahead, but he's down in Ravagers. Down in the Ravage Army files. They do crazy army. They somewhat connect. With Mixu, he has the defender's advantage. Starts this forward. Oh. Punishing the Ravagers. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Eba punishes Mixu. Takes the blast to the face. Roach counterattack on the right hand side. Drones are going down. Once again, Eba just having the better concave here on the front lines. Mixu trying to engage, getting cornered. Yeah, better fight for Eba. Does avoid the piles and does collapse on the army. And Mixu is going to lose everything here. Trying to reinforce though, trying to save his forces. Oh, no detection, no shot. No detection. The burrow. Mixu with the counterattack. Not quite breaking through. But does save the army. Again, these roaches should all be dead. They survived. Mixu's still holding on. Meanwhile, +2 is now finishing off for Eba. Even on upgrades. Even. Mixu once again trying to threaten a dive. Another contamination. Let's go. +2 just now finishing. And Mixu does come in. Yeah, diving in the army. Dodges most of the piles. Does take 2 to the face. Getting on top of the Ravagers. Meanwhile, Eba coming in for the surround. Who surrounds who? Eba also gets caught out as well. Piles not quite connecting. Roaches, they bust into the mineral line. And Mixu, he does overwhelm, just barely. Does overwhelm the army. GG gets called and Mixu takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG. A very intense game. Very intense, but some nice moves out of Mixu. He was able to come out on top when it came to the drop lord harass. He was able to, of course, avoid the surround and pop off with his own borrowed roaches. And with that, we are getting into game number 3. Let's go. Let us go. I'm hoping for a back and forth. I mean, that previous game was quite close between our two players. We saw Eba taking some better fights, some better trades. Unfortunately, there were some moments though where he didn't quite either have detection or didn't quite have enough to really close things out when it came to these fights. And the pressure is on. Here we go. Just catching up. What are these players' nationality? Yes, as is being stated in the chat, Eba's from the UK. Mixu is from Finland. True. There you go. As a game 3 is going to be on Whispers of Gold. Oh boy. Whispers of Gold, of course, is a much smaller map in the map pool. Aggression can definitely be favored on this map as well. And we'll see if we commit to something, again, a little bit earlier here when it comes to tech, maybe earlier link speed. We have yet to embrace something like a 12 pool. Not certain we're going to see that here, but we'll see. Anything is possible. As we're loading into potentially the final game of the series. I hope not. I'm hoping that we have a back and forth. Hoping that Eva can bring us to a game 4, maybe even an ace match. Here we go. Yeah, loading into Whispers of Gold and spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map. We have our Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, leading the series 2-0. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Eva. Here we go. As is being said in the chats, for those that are maybe a little bit newer to StarCraft, it is very rare for a game to end by buildings being destroyed. Technically, that is a win condition, is to destroy all buildings on the map, and there are some very rare circumstances where that does occur, especially during a base trade in a very chaotic game state, where basically the term of a base trade is where the main armies, they completely miss each other and they just race across the map and they just destroy each other's buildings, and it all comes down to who kills each other's buildings first. There are very rare circumstances where that does happen, but usually instead it's about just overwhelming your opponents and just taking a lead and forcing them to tap out as they fall further behind economically, they fall further behind tech-wise as well. There are certain game states where, again, it is too difficult to come back from, so a player will just concede. You know, maybe on the ladder you'll encounter, I mean, I'm sure everyone's encountered, you know, that one ladder opponent where you like beat them, you win the game, and then, you know, they like lift their buildings. that doesn't happen, you know, in pro play, where like your opponent forces you to destroy all their buildings before tapping out. Like, that's the players are more mannered than that. I guess it's kind of like chess. If you're familiar with watching chess, that's also a thing, right? Where technically, you know, to win a game of chess, you kill the king, right? But like players at the highest level, they will concede ahead of time if they recognize that, you know, in X amount of moves they're going to lose anyway. Like they can foresee like how things are going to play out, so they just tap out. I'm sure it's applicable in other games as well, but I guess chess also similar. You're not forced to like kill the king every game. Meanwhile, Bane bust. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted. But yeah, Mixu does throw down an early Bailey Nest, and we are going for a bust. Meanwhile, Eba back at home setting up his third base. The third bases are on time for both players. Eba is making extra lings early on, being aggressive himself, but a much later Bailey Nest for Eba. So Mixu is going to be the aggressor, and we'll see if Eba can keep up. Sometimes they agree to a draw in chess. True. I mean, draws are also a rare thing in StarCraft, but they can occur, technically. But here we go. The aggression is here. Bailings are on the way. There's going to be 5 Bailings already. And again, 0 Bailings for Eba. The Bailey Nest is still in production. Still not ready. It's still not ready. There's a big window here for Mixu. We'll see how strong or how well he can connect with these Bailings. Does it in. Distracting the Lings. Bailings, they do come in from the right-hand side. Coming in from behind. A bit of an awkward angle here for Mixu. And he does get some decent Bailing connections, but oh no! He wastes Bailings on the Queen, and with that, Eba, he holds. He is holding on. That was, what, 3 Bailings on a Queen? Ay. The control not quite there. Likewise, not the most efficient trade here from Eba, but Eba, he is holding on. Meanwhile, Mixu is not done. Mixu is still just rallying everything across the map. It's all or nothing for Mixu. One way or another, the game will end. As he's morphing in more Bailings. Still committing. But he's going to be forced back. Bailing gets denied. Behind this, Mixu is droning. Oh no! It does attempt to drone. Nice Bailing connections out of Eba. He's holding on. Oh, good. Now he's going to be holding. Mixu trying to slip by. Both players joining up. And Mixu, he wants that third base. He's not going to get it. So far, he maintains his economy. He's got 40 workers. Up 8 drones. Banelings are ready. And Mixu's in a rough position. Again, it was so committed to begin with. Even with the drone counts being similar, Mixu did cut workers earlier on. So eBay has been mining more for longer. Is in a better economic game state. And with that, he can afford the Roach Warren, extra gases, extra tech, lair as well. eBay is ahead. Does have a lead. And we'll see if Mixu can bounce back. I mean, again, it is possible to slip into a mineral line to get some kind of economic damage. Getting to his own Roach Warren. Eba, meanwhile, already beginning Roach production. So they'll zone Mixu away. Does zone him back. Eba, he is actually going to be committing here. I don't think he needs to. I mean, if Eba wanted to, it could just drone, it could just saturate, get up to 3 bases, and it just embrace Roach Tech. Instead, Eba going for an earlier move out. It is a little bit risky. Does force the third base to be evacuated. At the same time, Mixu does counterattack. A couple of drones going down. Mixu pushing in. Yeah, takes down the Baneling. And should shut down the third as well. Banelings are rolling into the mineral line. Oh, they're making their way in. They are denied. But the hatchery should fall. And with that, eBay, he secures his lead. He's up a base, up in economy. Mixu gets a fly blocked. Breaking the National is going to be a little bit more difficult, though. Spine Crawlers do finish up in time. But the Roach Warren is exposed. They bust into the middle line. 2 more workers going down. The Roach Warren falls as well. And Mixu is he's just getting picked apart. Just cannot keep up. Not anymore. Not after the failed Lingbane aggression. Does come in from behind. Let's go. They're reinforcing roaches. Mixu does hold. Does hold on. Eba, he has to back off from here, and from here, he can just drone. He can just drone, saturate. He's got his lair. Roach speed is on the way, plus on range as well. Building up his Roach army. And just getting further ahead. Mixu is just now finishing up his lair. Still trying to hold on. And again, there is a chance here, especially if Eba's overcommitted, if he moves out, if he doesn't leave it a lot at home to defend, then there is a chance for this Baneling run by, for example, to just wreak havoc and just infiltrate the mineral line. It is possible. But he's relying on Eba being distracted. Speaking of, here comes the distraction. Mixu pushing on the right. Looking to keep Eba distracted. Looks like the Banelings were cancelled, so just Ling run by. Just Lings, they go for the expansion. They're going for the hatchery. And the hatchery may go down. Up, up. Can he get it? No shot. He will. Snipes the base. Okay. I see you. Forcing Eba on a 2-base economy, but his 4th base is already up and running and just transfer. And Eba's already maxed out, or he's about to max. So a nice pick up here by Mixu, but alas, Eba, he has a terrifying army. Maxed out on Roach Ravager, moving out. It's literally double the Roach count. GG gets called, and Eba, he will fight back. He will put a point on the board. Let's go. GG. Has the comeback begun? Is this the beginning? As Eba, he does put a point on the board, and with that, one more game, and Eba can force the ace match, but still, he's on match point. Still, Mixu only needs 1 game to claim the entire series to qualify for the main event. Oh boy. Question becomes, what map are we loading into? Oh my god, a very old map. It's been quite some time since we've casted. It's been over a year at this point. It's hard to say. But up next, we're going to be loading into Gressvan. Oh boy. I want to say around a year. I think Gressvan was still in the map pool at the start of 2024. Maybe. It's been a while though. Has been a while. And I don't miss this map. We've cast a lot of games on Gressvan. A lot of games, Fabi. Aye. We're back. We're back once again. Let's go. A relatively modern map, I suppose, as Gressvan, of course, was in the map pool, you know, in the current modern era of StarCraft, in the era of EPT, of ESL Pro Tour. Oh. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gressvan, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, still leading the series 2-1, still one game away from claiming the entire match. It is a Mixu. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Red Zerg player, the Red Zerg from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes down in the series, but making a series out of this nonetheless, one game away from forcing the ace match. It is Eva. Let's go. See Thorn in the chat. Gressvan left the map pool end of 2023, October. There you go. Not quite beginning of 2024. It's been a while. Has been a while. Hasn't been long enough. Of course, Gressvan, if you were not here a couple of years ago, this was one of the more macro-oriented maps in the map pool. We saw a lot of late game, a lot of split map scenarios here on a Gressvan. The reason for this map is you can be quite secure here on 2, 3, 4, 5 bases. This was, of course, back in the meta of ZvZ when we saw many a Terran player just fully wall up and fully just wall off here on their half of the map. A lot of late game. a lot of late game, a lot of like hour-long games here on Gressvan. But welcome to a ZvZ, so we should be seeing something quite different. I mean, even in saying that, for those that remember, this was like, what, early 2023, when we casted a plethora of ZvZs on this map featuring Dark. And we also saw hour-long games, hour-long ZvZs. I'm talking Lurker Viper versus Lurker Viper. I still remember casting Dark versus Scarlet on this map during EPT Americas, the Open Cup, I should say, EPT Open Cup Americas. Dark versus Shin, Dark versus Solar as well. This was back during the time when Dark, he intentionally would play defensive, would wall up on 3 bases, tech into Lurker, and then slowly get a 4th, slowly get a 5th base, wall up with Lurker Spore into Viper, and just force the late game. And I mean, and yeah, it's many a late game on on Gress. I've been scarred, Papi. I've been scarred. Aye. We shouldn't be seeing that here, though. I don't think Mixu and Eba really want to play that style of rushing into Lurkers and walling up with Spores and Lurkers. Like, that's not that's not what we're gonna see. I hope so, at least. But yeah, a lot of Lurker versus Lurker and a lot of Viper versus Viper on this map. Dark times. Very dark times. I think I even recall seeing Cero versus Dark on this map as well. For now, though, we have our Baliness on the way. 3rd bases as well. As we settle in, a big shout out to Xlock in the chat. Baby God, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for the first time. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you enjoy the StarCraft. Hope you enjoy the tournament. Thank you so much here. Thank you so much. Again, we do cast StarCraft on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings. Tomorrow, our next cast is going to be the Lil Cup and also Wardy TV Monday. After that, we have the Pigastore Monday as well. After that, we have plenty of StarCraft. There's that every day, plenty of StarCraft on the channel. So thank you so much. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. As we do have a much more passive early game here. We're just settling in. We do have, I say passive early game. That is a much faster lair. Much faster lair here for Mixu. Is going to be walling up, is tempted to take extra gases, plus on range is on the way. The range upgrade does throw me off a little bit. I would have assumed that this was going to be for a fast Spire. And this could still be for a fast Spire for like a light commitment into mutas. Range tells us that we want to commit into roach production though. So we'll see what direction Mixu goes in. So now he is walling up. Lair just now beginning for Eba. And we do have Mixu taking extra gases. Show us the Spire. As we are still lacking some minerals. Mixu just fully droning up. Link Scout is denied. And so far, Mixu, yeah, he's not really taking in any committed direction here. Not yet. There we go. Roach Speed is now on the way, so it's just going to be Roach. It's just going to be Roach Ravager here out of Mixu. Did cut some corners, did take up a little bit faster, but as you can see here, I mean, we spoke earlier about how macro-oriented Gressfan used to be. That's what we're seeing here. Again, just barely any aggression with Ling Bane, and just fully saturating on 3 bases. And just going straight into Roaches. Just straight into Roach play. So we're getting to Roach Ravager versus Roach Ravager. I do think that Mixu is getting here in a bit of a better position. He's going for a Nidus Worm. Okay, that I was not expecting. He's committing. Is going to be committing here. There is an Overseer into the main. There is potential for a Nidus. Likewise, Eba attempts a scout. Mixu, he cuts workers just under 3 base saturation. Massing out more roaches, +1 range is done. +2 range does begin. Overseer is earned away. Mixu looking for another way in. And there it is, nice run into the main. Eba, he does spot it, he's aware. And his army does respond. Does rally back into the main. And he should be able to hold on. Nice Worm does finish, but it's going to be shut down. And Eba's going to hold. Eba here to flex the main army. Does shut down the Nidus of Roaches. They do get a couple of drones in the main, though. A couple of workers are going down. Likewise, Mixu going for the 4th. And boys are being pulled. And a backup Nidus does finish. And this hatchery, it's going to go down. Ah, that's going to be a kill or cancel. Was allowed to finish. Massive pickup. Hatchery falls. 9 drone kills as well. Mixu coming in from behind, getting on top of the roaches, or getting on top of the Ravagers even. And just pulling Eba apart. With defender's advantage though, Eba, he may have enough to hold on. It just needs a little bit more time. A couple more roaches. Spine Crawler does complete. And Eba holds. Eba, he does hold on. Does force back the army. Behind this Mixu, he hadn't expanded. He hadn't taken the 4th. +2 range just now beginning. And we're still in a pretty comparable game state. Contamination here is going to deny +2. So Mixu will have an upgrade lead. Drone counts are still neck and neck, slightly in favor of Mixu. Backup Nidus. Mixu even taking him towards Burrow. And Tunneling Claws, I would imagine. As he is moving out. Once again, going for the 4th. Overlord does spot the army. Eba, he responds. So good. And again, because how large the map is, we could end up seeing some of our players try to take into Lurker tech. So far, we're still committed to Roach Ravager. And Mixu is still being hyper aggressive. See if he gets there. Nice Storm goes down. Nice pick up here by Eba, catching up the army. Yeah, Mixu, he can't engage. No, like this. Nice stuff stepping out of Eba, catching all the roaches. And roaches, they get shut down. Eba takes a fight. And Mixu's in trouble. Mixu is trying to reinforce his suddenly down in army. +2, not going to factor in. Eba, he's going for the kill. He's going for the natural. Oh. Allows they connect. Eba kiting back. Ravager's almost done. And Mixu just can't properly engage. Eba peeling off a couple of roaches, head towards a 4th. Let's go Mixu healing up. Love to see it. Eva is going to be the first to max out, but alas, his reinforcements, they take time. Doesn't quite commit. Once again, Mixu being active with those Nidus Worms. Catching out Eva. Mixu is up in those upgrades. Pushing forward. Eva has to respond. This could still go either way. Both armies are maxed out. Mixu is trying to break Eva. Meanwhile, we spoke about the potential players taking up, and there it is. Hydrogen. Hydrogen is on the way forward. Mixu. He's thinking about lurkers. Speaking of, Eva going for the infestation bit, thinking about Hive Tech. So Eva is going to have access to Hive Tech and Vipers as well. Meanwhile, Mixu, faster lurkers instead. We'll see if we can get there. Now both places still maxed. Eva does get into the mineral line. Denying mining time at least. Forcing back the army. Eva sneaking past. There's a lurker den on the way. Lurker den alongside the infestation bit. Now it's going to be shut down. Eva pushing in. And Eva, he hasn't seen the tech. He doesn't really know what's going on. But he does catch Mixu off guard. Oh. Has to respond. Eva pushing in, going for the fourth. Yeah, just cutting Mixu off, and drones are falling. Ooh, piles they connect. There's some brutal connections here on Mixu. He's just being torn apart. Roaches, they get into the mineral lines, the third base and the fourth as well. Workers are falling. And Mixu just can't keep up. The bases are going down. And before Mixu can get into lurkers, Eva, he's popping off, takes down the fourth. Doesn't quite get the third, but barely standing. Oh my god, once again, takes the mouse to the face. He takes them. And both armies are still maxed out, but Eva has a bank. Eva has a bank, and Mixu less so. Hydra's now in the mix. Speaking of, Lurker Den also on the way for Eva. Both players taking the same direction. We're getting there. Eva, he counterattacks, takes down the base. Third base falls. Mixu is stuck on two bases. Barely an economy. He's committed. He is committed at this point. But he can't push in. Takes down the fourth. Has to back up. Gonna try to force a fight. Eva wasn't quite expecting this. The rest of the army out of position. Does respond. Roaches, they slip into the natural. More drones going down. Mixu is his turn to be active. He does hit the center base. He at least tries to. Eva, he's ready for him. And Eva just getting further and further ahead here in the supply. Catching out more roaches. Mixu going for non-stop run-bys. Just trying to buy time for lurkers. Lurker production has begun for Mixu. There it is, 7 lurkers on the way. Now the reality is, here in ZvZ, you can be down like 30 supply, 30, 40 supply. And if you have lurkers, if your opponent does not, you can still take a fight. You can take a fight, you can swing things in your favor. But Eva's getting his own lurkers. Wait, we're getting there. Lurker versus lurker. Oh no! It was foretold. Not like this. Welcome to Gressvan. Ah. The Lunker's back. They're here. Oh, we're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna as Mixu is resaturating, at least trying to. Double expanding. The lurker count is building up. Vipers on the way. No Vipers for eBay yet. eBay is being somewhat active. But again, over time, the lurker count is getting higher and higher. That makes it more difficult to be aggressive. Pushing in. But for the most part, Mixu should be fine. Yeah, he's keeping up with his lurkers. He has lurkers to defend at his third. Lurkers here on the front lines as well. Eba does force his way in with his own lurkers, though. Does push forward. Detection is available. And Mixu defends. Yeah, he forces back the army. Oh my god. On both sides. There's a blinding cloud. And Mixu is shutting Eba down. Eba extending. The lurkers do fall. And Mixu's holding. Again, the defense advantage is just so big here. With Vipers, with lurkers. Mixu holds. Mixu, he's recovering. The drone counts are neck and neck. Likewise, lurker count as well. Eba is going to be ahead in tech, though. At least he does have +3. And he has extra Vipers. 3 versus 2. But Mixu's had enough defending. He's pushing. He can try to threaten the center expansion. Nida swimmer across the map. Let's go. Nidus is on the way, and Eba, he doesn't notice. He doesn't respond. And what's in the Nidus? A couple of roaches, a couple of lurkers as well. They do pop out. Eba racing back home. He was out of position. Likewise, Mixu pushing right down mid, push towards the third. Eba getting torn apart here. Yeah, the base is going to go down, or at least it should. Oh, nice abductions. Nice yoinks. Base does fall. Mixu sticks around too long. Aizel loses his army. Yeah, everything is going to be falling down to 2 lurkers. And Eba, he takes the fight. Nice, and the Mango cleans up. And Eba, he shuts down Mixu. And we're going to game 3. So we're going to game 5. It's happening. GG gets called. We're going to the ace match. And Eba, he fights back. We're going all the way to that final game of the series. Let's go. GG. GG, well played. Again, we got to experience somewhat lurker versus lurker. Alas, Mixu, he did throw away a little bit too much there towards the end, going for just mass counterattacks. Nidus roamed towards the 4th base, main push towards the center, but alas, he just ran into a main army. He lost everything, and Mixu had no bank. He had no bank to rebuild, so those losses were brutal. He couldn't quite afford them, and now we're going all the way to the ace match. Oh boy. We're going all the way to game 5. Eba with the reverse sweep, potentially. Momentum is on Eba's side. But I feel like a lot of this will come down to the map itself. You know, some of these maps, I mean, we saw maps like Whispers of Gold, which are more aggressive. We saw Non-Stop All-Ins, likewise Aggressfan, known for its macro play. That's what we saw as well. Here we're going to be loading into Ley Lines. Interesting. Ley Lines is one of the more standard maps in the map pool. Is one of the more standard maps. What I mean by that, I mean, it has its own distinct features, is quite defendable on 4 bases, has certain choke points, or certain ramps, I should say, coming in towards a 3rd location, so a little bit more defendable, but the rush distance by ground is also relatively short compared to, you know, your King's Cove, your Abyssal Reef, your Neo-Violet Square, your Frostline. Technically one of the smaller maps in the map pool, but here we go. We are loading in and spawning in the top right hand corner of Ley Lines. We have the Finnish Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing himself, representing Lem. It is Mixu. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the Red Zerg player from the land of the UK, representing the Platinum Heroes, bringing us all the way to the ace match. Can he bring it home? It is Eba. Let's go. Eba versus Mixu. Mixu, he initially had a lot of momentum on his side, able to take the lead here in this series 2-0, but has since slipped through his fingers, now being forced into the ace match. It's a battle of stamina, battle of fortitude. Let's go. How does the story end? Welcome one and all to Leylands, and also a big shout out to SC2 full in the chat. God, papi. Hello, Monsieur Jaime Sausage, papi. Oh my god. Good to see you, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. And welcome to the Ace Match, the final game of the final series of the final broadcast of the day. Welcome, papi. Welcome to the finale, to the climax. Let's go. As we are going to be opening up in a standard fashion, hatch gas pool. We have the initial extractor trick as well. Outside of that, we are settling in. Just in time, exactly. So we find ourselves on ley lines. Again, as we were mentioning, we do have a ramp coming into the third base, so the third base is a lot more defendable. Likewise, the fourth base as well. This location can be abused, especially from the low ground in certain matchups. In ZvZ, a little bit less so. So we can see a more secure four-base setup. Counterattacks do hit a little bit faster, or much faster compared to Gressman, for example, on this map as well. Can be more active, can be more aggressive. And we'll see where we head. But thank you, SC2 Full. Thank you. Yeah. We literally have a stream every day this month. I mean, that's usually the case, right? Like, I guess December was different. We did take Christmas Day off and Christmas Eve. True. Yeah. Always casting StarCraft. As we have our Baliness on the way for Mixu, takes a third. Likewise, Eba doing the same. So far, mirrored builds. Nothing out of the norm yet. So we are just saturating our bases. We'll keep an eye on any kind of Ling aggression. There it is. We have 10 Lings on the way for Mixu. Mixu is going to be the initial aggressor. And we'll see what he can get done. As he's hiding those Banelings to morph in. Or the Lings to morph into Banelings. Ideally, while he distracts with his Lings, he's able to slip into the mineral line with those Banelings and get some damage done. There they are. Banelings are morphing in. 2 towards the left and another 2 towards the right. So he does threaten the base. Getting on top of the third, distracting Eba, at least trying to. Lings, they do slip into the mineral line. Oh! Aliens have arrived. Oh, no major connections yet. They do get into the mineral line, and they do graze some of these drones, but for the most part, Mixu should defend. Oof. As 3 drones do go down, sorry, Eba should defend. 3 workers do fall. Banelings crash into Banelings. No major connections on Lings. But Eba, he does bleed out 6 drones here at the natural. With that, Mixu does take a lead. Mixu does take a worker lead. So far, so good. The aggression was successful. And now it is on Eba to counterattack. So far, still trying to keep up. Still trying to hold on. Both players joining up. Mixu, he does enjoy himself an economic lead. Lair is now on the way. Roach Warren for Eba. And we're just taking up. Getting into the Roach phase of ZvZ. Oof. But Mixu has actually a terrifying worker advantage. He's got 50 drones to the sub 40 of Eba. And he was not really set up for a counterattack. So from here, both players just saturating, just droning up. Another Link slips in. And we'll see if Eba can recover, because as things stand, Mixu is just going to be able to enjoy just a better economy into a larger army, into a massive amount of roaches. Oh, even actually taking into a Spire. Risky maneuver here out of Mixu. It's quite risky. That's another Baneling goes down. At this point, Eba might just be forced to die. As another Baneling the Palings, they just keep getting picked off. Not like this. And Eba, he might just go for an all-in at this point. He might just deny, just avoid droning up this third base, avoid taking gases. You can see here, Eba, he's undersaturated at the natural. He shows drones here at the third to make it look like he's macroing when he's not. It's an all-in. Just straight up all-in here by Eba. It's all or nothing. Spine Crawler's on the way. Mixu, he is massing roaches, is taking into a Spire, but thankfully he's not banking up. He's not banking up for the mutas. We'll see if Eba can pull this off. Mixu is ready for him. Is getting ready in time. Baling's ahead for the mineral line. Mixu, he evacuates. Oh, does get away in time. The Balings, they crumble. From here, Spine Crawlers are finishing up. And Mixu has a defender's advantage. From here, he can pull the boys if need be. Queens, they have bad DPS, and Mixu holds. Mixu doesn't just hold, he has mutas as well. Mutas are on the way. And Eba, he had to do more damage there. From here, Eba, he's still not droning, still not saturating. Still only 8 workers here at the natural. Just pure Ling Roach Ravager. And again, the hope would be that Mixu over drones. He did drone, but still fine. Mutas have arrived. I mean, there's no good answer. No. And he has to commit. It's all or nothing. The mutas, they will eventually clean all of this up. Lings are forced to engage. Files, they don't quite connect. And Mixu, he will just overwhelm. He shuts down the Ling, shuts down the roaches. The Ravagers fall, and there's just nothing left here for Eba. GG gets called, and Mixu, he will take the series 3-2. Becoming the third player, the final player to qualify for the OSC Season 12 Championship. GG. GG, well played. Mixu, he will claim the series. Congratulations. My condolences to Eba. Went all the way to the ace match. It did go the distance. But alas, here in that final game, Mixu, he was able to take a lead early on, able to cripple the economy, and Eba was forced into an all-in. Unfortunately for Eba, Mixu, he had gotten away with droning up quite heavily in the aftermath, and of course, settling into more roaches. GG. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations to Mixu. Not just Mixu, of course. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. Congratulations to Mixu. Congratulations to, of course, Arcfire and Mana, as the top 3 players do make it through into the main event. Congratulations. Likewise, I believe... Oh, my apologies. I assumed there were only 4 brackets here for the qualifier. This was the top 3, the final 3 players to make it through bracket D, but there is actually another qualifier as well, bracket E. So my apologies, as I was exclaiming that that was the final chance for players to make it through, but I believe there is one more qualifier where top 2 make it into the main event. Oh boy. And that is going to be tomorrow. So best of luck to all the competitors here. For those that did not make it into the main event, there's still one big one, of course, Spirit. If you remember, Spirit went down very early in the bracket, and he is favored to be a part of the event and make it deep in the event as well. We'll see if he can make it through. We'll see. I'm sure there are many other competitors that are going to be a part of that as well. Best of luck to all of them, of course. Who do I see sign up? I see Spirit. I see Trigger. Is Trigger not a part of the finals? No shot. No shot. So I'm just checking the qualified players. So far, who has made it through? We have Solar and Mixu as the two Zerg players. We have Baby Marine as a Terran. And we have a plethora of Protoss here. Arcfire, Mana, Lemon, DNS, Jumi, Art, Night Phoenix making it through as well. Very impressive, very impressive. And I believe the main event has players seeded into it as well. These are just the qualifiers, but there are many more that are part of the main event itself. And yeah, Trigger is not a part of it, so best of luck to Trigger, as I'm sure he's going to be playing in that final qualifier as well. Best of luck. It's a big bracket. It's a lot of players. it's a lot of players getting involved, and best of luck to all those covering this event as well. I know it's a very large event, and typically a lot of the community casters get involved together, whether it's Wardy, Steadfast, Dave Testa, Chicken Man, or ourselves. Do check out the respective channels that the event is going to be a part of, and yeah, best of luck. Best of luck to all the competitors. Best of luck to all the coverage, and I hope you all enjoy the OSC Championship. As for those that are curious, what even is the OSC Championship? It is essentially almost like the World Finals for online tournaments. OSC Esports, they do partner with almost every online event. They provide OSC points throughout the course of the year, and it all leads towards that end of year finals where players are invited, they're seeded in based on their points accumulated throughout the course of the year, and they face off in the championship. So again, it is kind of like you know, your end of year finals for online tournaments. Not including the offline events like your IEMs or your Dream Hacks or EWCs, for example. And yeah, with that, GG, well played. It's going to be an amazing event, I'm sure. Again, it's got some top tier competitors like Clem, like MaxPax, Björn, Cure as well, Dark, Shin, Solar, Hero, Classic, the best of the best. Skillers, the best of the best are all going to be facing off in this event, which is also why this final qualifier is going to be an important one for players like Spirit, for players like Trigger, for these big names that aren't the most active in these online tournaments that still have to make their way into this event. So best of luck. Best of luck to those competitors. Best of luck. Oh, as it's been quite a day. It's been quite a day, papi. Ay. GG, well played. Oh, I should also switch the scenes over here and catch up on our schedule. As you can see, I mean, the schedule is for the previous week, but regardless, still applicable. Our next broadcast on the channel is going to be at 9 p.m. KST. In under 24 hours, we're going to be live with the Wardy TV Monday. I should emphasize though, technically we're first going to be live with the Leo League Cup Group A first. Once we wrap up with Group A, or with the initial Leo League Cup, then we're going to be following it up with the Wardy TV Monday broadcast. So back-to-back 2 broadcasts tomorrow, followed by the Pegasaur Monday as well. We have some Homester Cup replay coverage. We have the rest of our regular scheduled events. I believe we have KSL this week, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. But plenty of content here on the CranKy Ducklings, as always. Yeah, Homester Cup. Oh, Elite League, of course. Elite League is going to be on Wednesday. We have the Pondcast. We have Massive Coliseum over the weekend. Yep, KSL is this weekend as well. That's a lot of StarCraft. A lot of content here on the channel. So if you're interested, you can help support us. You can help follow us, of course, on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things CranKy Ducklings, as I quickly post in the chat. We do post it whenever we go live. Likewise, you can also support us as well. Likewise, you can also support us as well via subscribing, via being a part of our Patreon as well. You can see it under, I believe, Eva's name. Yeah, you can see it under Eva's name. Our current goal on Patreon and how much we do earn per month. All the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards the events that we hold and the events that we host. And we're hoping to try to reach our next goal to boost the prize pool even further and pay out top 4. Currently, our tournaments are very top heavy. They're top 2. But if we can reach our next goal, then we can pay out top 4 as well. So yeah, if you want to support us, if you want to support the scene, if you want to support StarCraft, you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Do appreciate it. Just catching up. 18 Protoss, 6 Terrans, and 6 Zergs. Perfectly balanced. True. Kappa. Days off? Slacker. We don't have any days off here this month, unfortunately. Last month we did. We took off Christmas Day and Christmas Eve. We had 2 days off last month. 2 days off. Too many days off, clearly. Too many. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. Stick around. We're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? Who is live? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's find out. I see Bomyoja. Bomyoja is streaming. Who else? Big Gabe is streaming as well. Let's go. We got Bomyoja. We got Big Gabe. Hub Cup. Oh, right. Hub Cup number 3 is going on. Of course it is. The StarCraft doesn't end. Bobby doesn't end. Smile is playing Majora's Mask. We have Dave covering Hub Cup as well. Yeah. We'll send people over. Send them over. I think the Hub Cup just began, actually. Technically, we could cast that as well, technically, but I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm gonna go get some rest, Bobby. I'm good. I'm good. Aye. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys for our next broadcast tomorrow in less than 24 hours. Until then, thanks for watching. Until next time. Ciao. Bye. Ciao. See you next time. Thanks for watching.